challenge of the champions, from David Hemery to Brian Jacks, and here they are. A double United Kingdom champion, the first in 1973, then again in 1976. Altogether, a man who's never been out of the top three in 6 superstar appearances. The first of the champions, Olympic gold medal athlete, David Hemery.
It was tremendous fun then, meeting the chaps who were from different sports for the first time ever. And I enjoyed it then, and since then has become far more competitive, and I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent for me. I'm scared to death here.
The second champion, the 1974 winner, comes from boxing. He went on to the European competition and won the British heat in 1976. He is, of course, John Conteh.
I love coming out to Superstars because it's very, very enjoyable. Meet the lads and all that. But it's progressed so far, like. The lads are really fit and they train for each individual event and they approach it very seriously, as they've got to do. I hate them.
And this is the Superstars 100 meters record holder. In 1975 in Malmö in Sweden, he won the European Championship heat and set up a time in the 100 that's never been beaten, 10.9 seconds. Front football, Malcolm McDonald.
Oh, very tough. These lads are in it as a business now. There is so much pride at stake. You know, forget any money that's involved. This is sheer pride. And I've been watching Brian Jacks, and I think it's going to take a Superman to get anywhere near Brian.
1977, and our United Kingdom champion of that year also competed in Spain, where he won the canoeing and the grueling steeplechase. Olympic oarsman Tim Crooks.
I come here intending to have a crack at some of the big guns. If you can pick up points all the way along, you might just pip somebody at the end. Yeah. It's very important.
The French heat gave us our only British European winner in 1977. He went on to the European final, where he narrowly lost to Thies Kruijsen.
Oh, it's a damn bloody shame, that.
And then he went to the 1978 World Championship. From Rugby League, Keith Fielding.
I honestly feel fitter than I did before. And the one thing that I think I've got in my mind is Malcolm's 100-meter record. It'd be rather nice to clock 10.8. 10.85 would do me.
Our first past Masters champion in 1978 went on to the United Kingdom final, the European final, and in 1979 the World final. He holds the Superstars steeplechase record. He is the 1964 Olympic gold medalist, long jumper Lynn Davis.
I think it's one of the toughest lineups of all times in Superstars, because the one characteristic of these people is they're all very competitive, and I think that's just made them great in their own sport.
And the next past Masters champion wins every event. From the United Kingdom final, he goes to the Bahamas, and as runner-up, becomes Britain's most successful world superstar ever. Olympic and Commonwealth medal-winning hurdler John Sherwood.
The thing I remember most from Superstars has got to be winning the bicycle race. It was a complete surprise, just from the sort of emotion of being in front and waiting for people to come past, and they never did. That's got to be the outstanding memory.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
and finally, the champion. He's never been beaten in any of the 5 British and European competitions in which he's taken part. He was third in the 1980 World Championship. He holds the European and World Superstars Gymnasium Test records, and will never forget, in the intense heat of the Bahamas, his 118 squat thrusts in 1 minute from judo superstar Brian Jacks.
To be honest, real satisfaction is, to me, is competing. Winning is an added bonus, although I love to win, obviously, but win, lose or draw, I really enjoy the actual competition, the pre-nerves, the meeting all the athletes, the interviews and so on. It's great, the whole feeling is fabulous.
And those 8 top superstars choose 8 of the 10 events. And as you can see, we get underway with swimming. Here at Wickham, it's a 50-metre pool, so it's one length of the pool that they swim. Malcolm McDonald near his camera, then Lynn Davis, David Hemery, Brian Jacks, Tim Crooks and Keith Fielding. 6 finalists, all away and all away well. See who's the first to break, and it's Hemery. Hemery with Lynn Davis on his right and Brian Jacks on his left. Tim Crooks also contesting that third place with Brian Jacks over on David Hemery's left. But Hemery breaking clear by about a metre now and going away. And a good battle for second place as Tim Crooks fades and Lynn Davis and Brian Jacks battle away. But Hemery now going ahead and looks like 10 points for the favourite. He really is swimming exceptionally well. Hemery takes the line now, and the battle's still on for second, and really difficult to determine who it is. Then Tim Crooks. David Hemery certainly the winner. Malcolm McDonald back in 6th place. David Hemery collects the 10 points. Lynn Davis 7, Brian Jacks 4, Tim Crooks 2, Keith Fielding the 1. And so on to event 2.
And that second event takes place here in the gymnasium, and it's the basketball. Now, basketball is going to be rather new to more than one of the 8 competitors taking part here. Hasn't been in Superstars all through the years, but it's certainly not going to be new to the man who holds the record, John Sherwood. John, starting off your campaign here, and of course holding that record, what was it, 5 baskets in 35 seconds in the past Masters. Must give you a bit of confidence to start with the basketball.
Well, yes, I mean, it's one of the nicer ones for me to start with. But the field looked extremely strong warming up, so, I mean, I'm not really all that happy.
Trouble is, you're the favourite, and they're going to try and knock you off now, aren't you?
Oh, well, certainly, yeah.
Superman, the sprint record holder. New event for him. Conte is taking over a minute for his basketball attempt. Lynn Davis still to go. So here's McDonald. Straight throw into the basket, and really a two-handed flick. Still Fielding with the best time of 38.8 seconds, and McDonald flicking them in but getting a good result, and he's quick across the ground. Attacking Fielding's time, and these are the two who will be attacking each other when it comes to the sprint. That's going to be a tremendous battle. McDonald the fastest ever over the 100, and Fielding, who's been very quick in Superstars, and McDonald's going to be quick here, and that's a good time for McDonald, and he's beaten Fielding. 38 seconds, 0.8 faster than Fielding, but he looks to have, yes, he's got trouble with his knee. He looks to have twisted his knee, and the knees are suspect for McDonald, of course.
You sure? You're okay. Well done. Good luck.
Oh, he's in pain. McDonald, 38 seconds. Fielding, 38.8. Sherwood still to go. Lynn Davis. Like McDonald and Fielding, he'll certainly have the speed. Has he got the accuracy? Never done this in Superstars before. And a McDonald two-handed flick again, not using the backboard. Well, normal basketball rules apply, and there are a few steps there from Davis, but he's been allowed it. .38 seconds, McDonald the fastest so far. Sherwood, the record holder, still to take part. Davis is going well. Might be slightly unorthodox, but it's quick, and yes, it's quicker. 37.2, 8/10 of a second faster than McDonald, and Fielding is now pushed back into 3rd place. But McDonald will be worried about that knee. This is only the 2nd event of the 10 over the 2 days. Fielding just 1 point from swimming, and points disappearing before his eyes now here in the basketball.
John Sherwood.
United Kingdom's best superstar ever in the World Championship, second to Brian Budd in the Bahamas last time. The record holder in the basketball, and there's David, the new member of the family, with the famous mum Sheila. Now, what can the famous dad do? 37.2 to beat. His own record, 35 seconds. Set that up in his first ever appearance in Superstars. That was in last season's Past Masters. And there's the Sherwood technique, wide around the turn, uses the backboard, is already turned as the ball comes through the basket, so he's already into his run on the way back. Watch this, up, backboard, in. Sherwood is turned, up, wide around, and going very quickly indeed. Certainly well up on the clock on Davis and McDonald, and he's through, and he's beaten his own record. 34.8. He's beaten his own record by 0.2 of a second. So Sherwood off the mark with 10 points and a colour television from the sponsors, which every record breaker will get in this competition. Davis second in this, as he was in the swimming. McDonald 4 points, worried about his knee, and nothing for Brian Jacks.
Well, there's an interesting situation. The two past masters and the earliest champion of all dominating the scene here. Lynn Davis at the top, David Hemery in second place, John Sherwood third, and as for Brian Jacks, well, my goodness, he's struggling a little at the moment with just 4 points. Well, all 8 of these superstar champions have to choose 8 out of the 10 events here, and all of them decided to have a crack at the crossbow, despite the fact that quite a number had never done it before. John Conte had never done it before. He did very well indeed. He scored 41 out of a possible 50. But Keith Fielding did the same, and so we had a shoot-off to decide it.
John Conte had a disaster with his first shot, which was only a 4. 18 meters the distance, and that's better.
9.
9. You see the 4 down there on the bottom right. He had 2 9s, 2 8s, and a 7 in the first round. And he tied with Fielding to bring this shoot-off. 3 shots to go for John Conte. 13 the score at the moment. It's better again. Another 9. Keith Fielding, in fact, was the only man to get a bull in the first round. Waiting now to shoot in this shoot-off.
9.
Tim Crooks out of it with a 31. Davis with 27. He won't get any points out of this. Conte with his 4th shot. Six or 7. If it crosses the line, the higher score counts. Yeah, Fielding thinks it's a 7.
7.
Yes, it is 7. So that's 29 with 1 shot to go after that bad opening shot of a 4.
Seven.
Hemery, who's got 3rd place, having scored 40, waits to see whether it's going to be Conte or Fielding for the top points. So the final shot is 7.
John Conte, 36.
First shot in the shoot-off. Record for this event is held by Peter Collins from the Sport of Speedway, who shot a 46 back in 1977. Better.
9.
17 and 2 shots. Well ahead of Conte, who's hoping that Fielding will have a disaster somewhere along the line. Probably the event that produces more nerves and more tension than anything else in Superstars, whether it's crossbow, pistol, rifle, or what have you.
8.
That's 25 scored. He needs 12 out of his remaining 2 shots to win. Hemery has got 3rd. McDonald is 4th. Sherwood is 5th with a 32. Good shot.
9.
Looks back. He's checking the score that's posted up behind him, and he's worked out, as we have, that he now needs just a 3 or better to win the shoot-off. And he really does need the points. That'll do very nicely. Fielding wins the shoot-off from Conte, with Hemery 3rd, McDonald and Sherwood the other point holders.
Well, 3 events, 3 different winners. David Hemery regains the lead. John Conte scores his first points, but it's been the poorest ever start for Brian Jacks. His only points coming from swimming, but relief at last. Next is weightlifting. Just check it to see whether his turn. 95 kilograms won't bother him. David Hemry, incidentally, out at 90 kilograms. Disappointing. Conti, Sherwood and McDonald still in.
This is 11 kilos above body weight.
It gives him an advantage over David Hemry, who finished with +9. Superb lifter. Not being very tall, he hasn't got long levers, but watch him keep that back straight, head up. Start with the legs and then snap the legs underneath, hold it square on the shoulders and then punch it aloft. As soon as you get moving, up it goes, and he locks at the elbows. And that's pretty impressive lifting. Well, all four successful at 95 kilograms, but the bar now at 100 kilograms. Malcolm McDonald and John Conti both out, so they finished 3rd and 4th respectively. For John Sherwood, he has to go for a lifetime best, 102.5 kilograms.
John Sherwood, 102.5 kilos.
Now, if he makes
at
this...
17.5 above body weight.
It's not only that, it gives him the lead over Brian Jacks, although Brian looking nice and pensive and confident behind him. Long way to pull it up, as John, 6'2". If he fails, he goes out. Brian Jacks is the winner. Good clean, though. High on the shoulders. Now it's about confidence. Oh, and he didn't just drop underneath the bar, which he has to do. That's where the confidence comes in. And he'll be satisfied with those 7 points. And it looks as though Brian Jacks is going on lifting. The great doyen of international weightlifting, Oscar State.
Brian Jacks, 122.5 kilos.
38.5 kilograms over body weight, but a massive jump up on the bar.
If successful, a new British record.
That's the record.
38.5 kilos above body weight.
That stands to Daley Thompson. He'll beat it by 0.5, but it's been a big jump up. 20 kilograms. Obviously feeling on song and wanting to entertain this crowd. Need all his technique. Up he goes, but he's struggling with it from the word go. Too big a jump, but he's back on top of the leaderboard for that event. Really in his element. The 10 points to Brian Jacks, and the crowd love it. But overall, yet another leader in John Sherwood, just ahead of David Hemry. At last, Brian Jacks comes into the picture, but still with only 14 points from 4 events. However, the next event is another banker of his. And John Sherwood, winner of past Masters, has to lead the way. Sheffield's super athlete, now 35 years of age.
5, 6, 7,
his previous best at
9,
this,
10,
38
11,
dips.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27,
Excellent
28,
technique, very
29,
good rhythm.
30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Going well. Takes a little rest, but these are good dips.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 46, 47, 48, 49.
10 up.
50.
15.
51. 52. 53.
9.
54.
Oh, good score this.
55.
Time running out.
4.
56.
Oh, will he get the 56? I don't think so. 55, a remarkable score though, sets the standard, and how much that standard's gone up.
John Sherwood, 55.
Now for Lynn Davis, his previous best, 36. So he'll have to do some improving. Lynn from Nantymoyle near Bridgend.
2,
a technical
3,
officer with the
4,
Welsh Sports Council.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
who
14,
revels
15,
at being back
16,
into
17,
international
18,
competition.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36.
That's his pass record gone.
39, 40, 41,
Lynn, at 38 years of age,
44,
in tremendous shape, although he's injured his back and that put him out of the weightlifting.
49, 50,
Now can he match John Sherwood?
53, 54, 55.
20 seconds.
55 he needs. And what a standard. But now the stage is set for the man who set the record in Israel last year. 86 dips, which he followed up with 80 squat thrusts. Remember, it's combined score, and in many of these competitions he could have won it. That's the gymnasium test on his dips alone. Brian, now 34 years of age, with a whole string of European and Olympic medals behind him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7,
the rhythm.
8, 9, 10, 11,
And that
12,
the technique.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
And the others
54,
can only
55,
sit and stare.
30 seconds. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68,
All
69,
scores
70,
wiped out.
71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77,
That record now looking in doubt.
81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86,
There it goes.
87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92.
Oh, he's enjoying this.
94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Yes! 100 for Brian Jacks, and still seconds left of the minute.
And what a set of performances that was. Every man equaling or improving on his best ever dip score. Now the combined gym test record of 166 held by Jacks must go, but there's a big battle on for overall second between Sherwood and Davis as we come to the squat thrusts.
There's John Conti putting out more work per squat thrust than Brian Jacks, but he cannot keep the score going. The sliding technique is clearly better if you can keep it up. And David Hemry, I've rarely seen him in trouble before, certainly not within a minute of activity. And Brian Jacks has stopped at the far end. Mind you, he's won this gym test by a country mile. John Sherwood, I think, must have got second out of that. Malcolm might have found that tough on the knees. David certainly
Hemry.
found it hard.
63.
63 squat thrusts. His total 107.
MacDonald.
53.
And a total of 70. Well down.
John Conte.
60.
Not so bad. His total 93.
John Sherwood.
Now this is key.
90.
Oh, that's splendid. His total 145 will guarantee him second place over Lynn Davis, I'm sure.
72.
72 squat thrusts. His total 127. Third place for him. Now listen.
103.
103, a massive total of 203 for a new Superstars record, which means yet another colour television set. So at the end of a very exciting day one, after 5 events, John Sherwood's all-round consistency puts him 1 point ahead of Brian Jacks. David Hemry and Lynn Davis, 2 old protagonists, locked together in 3rd place, but the Ferguson Trophy still wide open.
Well, it was a pretty long and grueling first day for the Superstars, and for the start of the second, they've come down here with us onto the banks of the River Thames at Marlow, just off Marlow Bridge. The first of the 5 events today is, in fact, the canoe race. And I think it's a pretty fair indication of the standard of performer we've got here in this Challenge of the Champions when you notice that yesterday 2 all-time United Kingdom Superstar records were broken. John Sherwood in the basketball, and then that amazing total of Brian Jacks in the gym tests, setting up a new record there as well. And it's just possible that a 3rd record could go here this morning, because it was on this course, on the Thames, that last year Daley Thompson set up the canoe record, 125 metres in 34 seconds. Well, here all 8 of our competitors have decided to have a crack at it, and all but 2 of them have won canoe races in their previous Superstar appearances. heat winners and 2 fastest losers overall to qualify for the final of this event. John Sherwood, lane 1, the blue canoe nearest us. Then it'll be Tim Crooks in lane 2 in green. McDonald and Davis are on the far lanes, orange and yellow. 125 meters. The record, 34 seconds by Daley Thompson on this course.
Are you ready?
So Sherwood nearest us, then Tim Crooks, and we watch for Crooks. Lynn Davis, McDonald on the far side, already dropped. McDonald very slow, not a favourite event for him. And it is Tim Crooks and Davis doing very well at the moment. John Sherwood coming up nearest us. Tim Crooks spearheading, with Davis still holding on and doing well. John Sherwood pulling up just a little bit nearest us. Still Tim Crooks, the Olympic oarsman, out in front. And Crooks paddling very well indeed, the man with the experience. Sherwood's pulled up now. Lynn Davis dropped back to third, but Crooks gritting his teeth, fighting the illness he's had here for a couple of days, but going well. And it's Sherwood. Sherwood coming up to the line, and who's got that? My goodness, it looked like John Sherwood just by about an inch from Crooks, with Lynn Davis in third place and McDonald dropped. Just watch this again. Up comes Sherwood. He's behind at the moment. The line coming up on the left of your picture. Crooks in green, Sherwood in blue, and Sherwood surely must have just got it there from Tim Crooks, and a tremendous finish. Clive Thomas, the overall referee, has looked at it, and his result is surprising. Crooks, he says, won it, and because of those fast times in Heat 2, Sherwood will not make the final. All the Heat 2 men, except Conte, go in. Sherwood robbed. Here's the lineup for the final. Crooks on the far side, Jacks, Fielding, and Hemery nearest us.
Are you ready?
Fielding must be the favourite. He smashed Daley Thompson's record in that second heat. And who's going to make the break first? Jacks in blue, Fielding in green. Crooks over on the far side. It's Hemery nearest us being dropped. Crooks hanging on well, and it's Fielding and Jacks together, and it's Fielding and Crooks just about level, but Jacks spearheading in the middle. Brian Jacks out in front. Didn't like being beaten by Fielding in that second heat. It was a very fast heat indeed, and it's Brian Jacks in blue up. Crooks is dropping back. Now it's between Jacks and Fielding, and Jacks has it. Jacks beats Fielding and loves it. Brian Jacks really wanted that one. He needs the points. Hemery gets the fourth place, Crooks got third, but Jacks wanted points there, and by the looks of it, so did Keith Fielding. Jacks equaling Fielding's new record of 30.6, and that is Brian Jacks' third win in a row, now beginning to show the form that's made him something of a superstar legend. Fielding second, Crooks, Hemery and Sherwood pick up the other points, and for the first time, Brian Jacks leads, 8 points ahead of the man who beat him in the World Final in the Bahamas. Hemery and Fielding are together, Lynn Davis lying fifth with 18 points.
So 6 events gone. The remaining 4 in this Challenge of the Champions are all back at the Wickham Sports Centre. The first of the 4 is the fastest, and back on the track we'll join Ron Pickering, who's taking a look at the field for the sprint.
And the atmosphere really building up for this 100 metres, in which there are 5 competitors, 2 of whom have been winners in the past. Back in 1975, Malcolm McDonald from Soccer, Supermac, won the 100 metres in 10.9 seconds and set a superstar's record that's still to be broken. 2 years later in Vichy, France, Keith Fielding, the rugby win three-quarter, came along and got fractionally close to that. We've all been waiting for the showdown. That showdown is about to take place. Keith, Malcolm, we've been saying how much we've been looking forward to this showdown over 100 metres. What about you? Are you looking forward to it?
No. In one word. No. I'm very nervous about sprinting. That's probably why I did long jump as an athlete.
Yeah.
I don't like the pressure too much of sprinting. If I could sprint against anybody, okay, I'd like to sprint against Malcolm, but the nerves are there.
Malcolm?
Well, there's only one man that's ever put doubts into my mind of all the people that have been in superstars, and that's Keith, as to whether I can beat him or not. So when I first saw Keith run in his first superstars, I thought, yeah, I fancy you, mate. I'd love a run.
So it is, in fact, the showdown.
Well, I think so, yes. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Keith said he doesn't like the pressure. I've played a lot of professional football. I love this kind of pressure.
Yeah. In fairness, Matt, I've got to ask you about the knees. Are they going to hold up all the operations?
Well, that's my big problem. I don't really know, Ron. Fortunately, it's the shortest race in the book, so hopefully it's going to stand up. The knee will stand up to the race, and but I've lost a little bit of muscle around it. I've lost a bit of strength, so I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope I can break the tape.
And you, Keith, you're looking stronger and fitter than ever. You've really got into good nick for this showdown, haven't you?
Better than ever, yes. Well, actually, I told Malcolm yesterday if I had legs like his, I'd walk on my hands. But
Yeah. So no predictions, but a good race.
No, none at all.
I think it'll be a hell of a race.
Great. Look forward to it.
Thank you very much, Ralph.
Whistle goes. And David Hemry prowling in the background. He too a threat, and John Sherwood be looking for points.
On your mark.
John Sherwood in red. Tim Crooks in green, but 3 men in blue. Tim Crooks nearest us. It's Crooks, Fielding, MacDonald, Hemry, Sherwood. MacDonald and Keith Fielding drawn together, taking their last look at one another. Keith Fielding, settled, head down. Super Mac fidgeting just a little. And away they go, first time. Oh, it was Hemry that got the great start. Keith Fielding coming after him. He won't be happy with his start. He's beating Malcolm MacDonald, but sure, Hemry beating the rest, and Hemry's going to hold on to win. Keith Fielding right on the line, closes on David Hemry, but who would be a prophet there? David Hemry, a magnificent victory.
What a marvellous win.
Clearly you're in spanking form.
After my basketball display, I'm very delighted to be able to run again.
Yeah, it really was a disastrous first 5 events.
Yes.
And now to get that back must give you a lot of pleasure.
I was delighted. That's back on the home ground, so thanks very much, Ron.
Yeah, terrific run all the way. Keith was closing just a little bit.
I felt that. I could
Good
see
lead.
him in the last minute.
Yeah.
He was sort of held with me. I think he probably hasn't got the experience of the dip.
Did you think you had a fighting chance when we were all bubbling about Malcolm?
I really thought that Malcolm and Keith, I thought Keith would be first, Malcolm second, and I thought I could probably get third.
And David Hemry hanging on to win in 11.45. Keith Fielding in second, John Sherwood squeezed third, Malcolm MacDonald a disappointing 4th place.
7 events gone, and it's still Jacks at the top. Sherwood and Hemry now right on his heels. Fielding is 4th, but Fielding and Lynn Davis are in all of the last 3 events. And after that surprising 100 metres on the track, it was the football slalom. Now, in this event in the past, especially abroad, it suffered a little from having rather soft goalkeepers, but this time we had a real expert, Chelsea's Yugoslavian international Peter Barotta. And Barotta made goal scoring rather difficult. In fact, he let in only 5 goals from the first 12 shots fired at him by 4 competitors, 3 shots a man. And here's Keith Fielding. 3 shots through the slaloms, against the clock, and the first goal for Fielding. In fact, he's quite a useful soccer player. He won 2 out of the 3 soccer competitions he's taken part in Superstars, including the 1978 World event. 2 out of 2, and nicely placed. And Fielding obviously has the speed as well. Nobody so far has scored 3 goals. In fact, Tim Crooks didn't score any at all. Oh, and it's saved. Saved, and now he's got to go. Now he's got to run because Sherwood was quick, 2 in 39.5. Lynn Davis still to go.
39.1.
What's the fastest so far? Is that the fastest? Special.
So, 2 in 39.1 as the last man, Lynn Davis, comes out. Was on Cardiff City's books at one time as a footballer. Twice second in Superstars soccer, and he's never missed a goal. And that's 1. Fielding leading from Sherwood. Both having scored 2 goals. Fielding leading on the clock. Davis on his 2nd run. Oh, and he was lucky to get that one underneath Peter Barotta. Oh, and he hasn't got a ball. The ball not placed, he had to call for it. And in fact, Davis is not very quick. So he's really got to score from this. He's behind on the clock. And he has 3 again, the 100% record of Lynn Davis in football. It doesn't matter how fast, because Davis has got it, 10 points.
Just a couple of points for Brian Jacks, but enough to keep him ahead of John Sherwood and Keith Fielding, who share 2nd place. Only 8 points separate the first 5 places, and Lynn Davis remains in 5th place, despite those 10 points from soccer.
So we have just 2 events left to decide the Superstar Champion of Champions here at High Wycombe for the Ferguson Trophy. And already this competition has not only just started our 8th year, but it's given us more record-breaking performances than any other program in this country. Well, the next event is one we remember for a variety of reasons and for a variety of incidents. One of those incidents featuring Kevin Keegan, a man who was unable to take his place here as a Superstar Champion because of his worldwide footballing commitments. And the fact that he's playing football and playing so well is the good news, because the Keegan incident on the cycle track at Bracknell had us all very concerned.
Keegan on the inside, Van Vince, the other soccer player, and Keegan wobbling a little bit there at the start, trying to put a lot of pressure on. He's wobbling all over the track. Van Vince is just about a half a wheel up at the moment, and Keegan's still wobbling, coming to the first bend, and Van Vince comes across, and Keegan's gone! Keegan touched the back wheel, and he's gone across the track on his back.
Well, that incident when I fell off the bike in Superstars remains very vivid in my memory. It convinced me of one thing, really. It's got to be horses for courses from now on from me. I promised if ever I went in Superstars again that I'd only do it providing I got the little stabilisers that kids had on the back wheels. It was a painful day for me. It was also one of the greatest days in my life because I went on to win it. One of the greatest memories in my life is competing in Superstars. Not just winning of it, but meeting other sportsmen from other sports and having dinner with them afterwards. And I think the whole idea I think the concept of it's great. And I would compete again if I thought, you know, they would drop the cycling possibly.
But it's still very much a vital part of Superstars, as David Hemry and Lynn Davis know only too well.
Are you ready?
Lining up for Heat 1.
Set!
500 metres in all. Lynn Davis has got the inside lane. 4 heats altogether. The fastest 2 men overall will ride off for the final. And Hemry is cut in and tucked in behind Lynn Davis. Both good bike riders. Hemry has twice won in Superstars, the years he won the title in 73 and 76. Lynn Davis has been second on 3 occasions. Hemry letting a little gap develop here on the back straight. Remember, it's all against the clock. All the times worked out after the heats to decide the ride-off, and Davis riding well, and this is quick, this is good bike riding, and Hemry coming around the outside now, and Hemry looking for a burst as he comes into the final straight, and Hemry's gone wide, and he's riding well, and he's coming up on Lynn Davis, but Davis just holding on, and it's Hemry and Davis by half a wheel. But good times, good bike riding indeed, and Hemry made a terrific burst as he came around that last corner and came wide on the corner, leaning right over quite dangerously. Davis on the inside, and Hemry pushed so hard here, and the times are good. Just over 45 seconds, 45.18 Hemry, but Lynn Davis 45.15, a very good piece of bike riding.
That must have been the best bike race you've had.
Oh, it's the best ever, Ron. David said at the start that the draw was critical, and it turned out to be that a man on the outside, unless he's got greatly superior acceleration, isn't going to get the inside lane. And I think over 500 metres, the man who gets to the inside first and stays there is at a great advantage. And that's what I managed to do. I felt David hard on my shoulder. I managed to take the corner really tight and hold it, and I think that's what won the race, because David again attacked coming off the bend and just managed to hold on in a close race.
Very close on the line.
Yeah, good race.
Yeah, well done.
Malcolm McDonald won Heat 2 after Crooks fell, but next it's the leader of this Ferguson Challenge of the Champions, and the man who thrilled us all in Rotterdam's Ahoy Stadium, riding in the 1978 European Championships on that famous banked wooden track.
15.32 by Paul Darrow to beat at the moment. And he's going well, keeping very low. Fantastic Brian Jacks indeed, because look at it, 13.56, and that is the fastest, and it's beaten Keith Fielding's record here from last year. The family love it.
Brian, you've got the man in this heat against you who could possibly win this whole thing and stop you from becoming champion of champions. It's a big event for you because it's the last one you've got to do, isn't it?
That's right, David. All the pressure's on now. We'll have to see how we go.
You've had a lot of success in bike riding in Superstars.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I've been
4 wins, I think?
Yeah, 4 wins out of 5, I think. I just lost one. And that was to Tim Crooks, and he was unfortunate today.
That's right. So you'll be going for this one?
Well, I'm going to have a real good go at this one.
Good luck, Brian.
And just hope everything goes well.
Against Jacks, Keith Fielding, who's never lost a Superstars bike race.
Are you ready?
You want Jacks?
Set!
Right.
Jacks that inside lane, which seems to be the favourite. Fielding has got to make the decision to tuck in or try to get the sprint and beat him to the first corner, and very few people can beat Jacks to the first corner. The best time so far, 45.15 by Lynn Davis. Hemery 45.18. McDonald now won't ride in the final, 46.13. The two fastest men to ride off. These two could well be the quickest. Fielding, coasting on the bend. Now that's dangerous, because it's here when you put the pressure back on. The back wheel can slide away, but he decided to coast, and now he's got a lot of work to do, and Jacks is up ahead, and Fielding putting on the pressure. Fielding wobbles a bit, but look at that sprint by Fielding. What a tremendous sprint, and Fielding has got it, and he's got the time. 44.95 for Fielding, Jacks 45.20, so Jacks won't ride in the final. So far it's Davis against Fielding.
Well, it's a great piece of tactical riding, I must say.
It's tactical. He's joking, it was with luck.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I had to rely on the sprint at the end.
Well, there was an agonising Lynn Davis watching you. You're slightly faster than him, but he's
Yes.
got the second fastest time so far.
Well, let's just hope I make the final. There's another one to go yet.
Fine ride, though.
Thank
really
you very
was.
much, Ron.
Superb.
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
Still to ride, the man who in the Bahamas became Britain's most successful world superstar ever.
Now look at that, Sherwood straight out ahead, and it's Jacks, and it's Brian Budd. Brian Budd coming around the outside, the long way round. Jacks is inside him, and Budd has got Jacks, but will he catch Sherwood? Sherwood hangs on, what a race. And Sherwood from Budd, from Jacks, from Shara, from Inar. And my goodness, look at John Sherwood. What a way to ride a bike race.
Now here in England, John Sherwood versus John Conte.
Are you ready? Set!
Conte inside, Sherwood outside. Fielding and Davis, the two fastest men, and Conte wobbling, doing a Keegan wobble there. And Sherwood has decided to try and take him, and has taken him on the first bend. No tucking behind for John Sherwood. He knows he has to... Oh, and Sherwood touched the corner. That's exactly the spot where Keegan touched. Sherwood is still on, but I think he's lost a toe strap. He's looking down, yes, his left foot has come out of the toe strap, and look at the time he's losing. Conte coming up on the inside, but it's all about the time Sherwood has lost. He's got it back together, but he's lost by... Conte nearly went. They're wobbling all over the place. Sherwood goes very wide, Conte down, looking down, but the time is absolutely vital, and Sherwood has lost vital seconds, takes it on the line, but there's no way he's going to qualify the final. He's lost it all in a bike race, unlucky again, like he was in the canoe. So from all the heats, it's Lynn Davis from Heat 1 to ride against Keith Fielding there from Heat 3. Hemery is third, Jacks is only fourth on the timings, and McDonald is fifth. Jacks is beaten, and if Fielding wins this, he must be the winner of this special Challenge of the Champions.
Are you ready? Set!
A great moment for Lynn Davis, because if Lynn Davis beats Fielding in this bike race, he can go on to take the title with the steeplechase still to come. And this will be a little bit of cat and mouse. The timing doesn't matter. Man against man, who crosses the line first? And Fielding has decided to tuck in. Now, how long will he wait before he makes the break? And he's gone slightly earlier than normal, and Fielding has decided to take Davis on the back straight, looks over his shoulder. He's got the tremendous finish, and again he coached the bend, and Davis should have pedaled. Davis should have attacked there on that bend and should have tried to overtake him, but Fielding, surely now he can't be beaten. The marvellous sprint he produced in the heat, he's got it here again, and not even Lynn Davis will match that, and Fielding gets it, his second win, and that's the vital one, because with that, Keith Fielding has won the special challenge of the champions. The steeplechase won't matter, and it was here that Fielding made the attack on the back straight. Attacked early, soon as he got past, he looked over his shoulder, coasted the bend, and that really was where Lynn Davis lost his chance. But it's Fielding's.
Keith, marvellous ride, and it makes certain of the title for you, doesn't it?
Well, I've got to make third place, have I, now in the steeplechase?
All you've got to do is finish.
Is that right?
All you've got to do is finish.
That's fantastic.
Marvellous ride, it really was.
Well, I adopted the same tactics. I freewheeled.
Yeah.
I had to... I know I wouldn't get away quick enough for Lynn, because he's very quick. He's a sprinter, the same as me.
Well, thank you.
Well done, Lynn.
Great ride.
I'm afraid he outgunned you there, Lynn.
Yes, he did. When he went past, I couldn't come back to him. He's a good cyclist. Well done, Keith. Great.
that confirms that Fielding has got it, because only the steeplechase is left, and with only 4 men in it, Fielding must score at least 2 points. Jacks has finished all his events, and Davis can't score enough to overtake the Rugby League star.
No doubt about the winner of this challenge of the champions, Keith Fielding, in quite magnificent fashion. However, the runner-up position still to be determined. Brian Jacks has to sit and watch this whilst 4 superstars go round. One of them is Lynn Davis. Now, Brian Jacks has 38 points. Lynn Davis already has 35. He's looking to be overall runner-up. To do that, he has to finish second or better. What's more, he's the Superstars record holder for this distance, 640 metres. He set it 144.9 back in the 1978 UK final, and I think he'd rather like to finish with a win and a record. In fact, I know he would. Lynn Davis will go for that record now, 144.89. The 4 men, Fielding, Crooks, Conti and Lynn Davis. And there's Lynn Davis going off, being chased by Tim Crooks, who himself was a winner of the steeplechase in Superstars before. And the technique of the water jump, well, a little tentative, a little too high from Lynn Davis there. Not wanted to get his feet wet, but he's certainly going against the clock now. His personal discipline has always been his great strength in his long and illustrious athletic career. Self-motivation, he can really drive himself against the clock when there's no real opposition. Come on, Lynn, come on, he says to himself. He's heard the time and he knows he's on target. And he's going away from the opposition, and an immense gap is opening up. Tim Crooks in second, then Keith Fielding settling for third place. John Conti bringing up the rear, but look at that gap now as he drives himself against the clock. I'm saying his personal discipline has always been his great strength, and his career included an Olympic gold medal, the first since 1908 in a field event. It included 2 Commonwealth golds, a European indoor and outdoor championship, and he'll revel in this, where he has to run against himself. Approaching 40 now, but rarely a day passes in Lynn Davis's life when he doesn't put himself to some physical test. Tim Crooks, who suffered pretty badly over these 2 days with a bad cold, but he'll get points and some satisfaction out of finishing second here if he can hold off Keith Fielding. And there's Lynn driving himself against the line, and it still looked good against the clock. Indeed it is. He's going to be inside by more than a second. 142.5, and another Superstars record falls. And it falls to Lynn Davis, and that guarantees him second place overall. He's beaten Brian Jacks. He'll get a lot of satisfaction from that. And he really did drive himself. Still coming up, John Conti. And looking for the opposition that's already finished, and sprinting to the line indeed. This is one you'll appreciate tomorrow, not today, Lynn.
It's been fantastic. I've enjoyed it. It's been the hardest Superstars I've been in. The competition has been tremendous. There isn't an event here which has been easy. Every winning time or distance has been tremendous. It's been a great competition.
Nice to finish with that flourish there.
Yeah, marvellous.
Well done.
Thanks, Ron.
And from event winner to overall champion.
I mean, I came in when they asked me to do this, and I thought, well, KJ, give it a go, but there's too much class for you. And then winning the crossbow and keep it in contention all the time.
It's these sort of events you've got to pick up points in, isn't it?
You've got to.
Especially
Things like
when maybe a banker's like the sprint goes astray.
That's right. Well, I've never been left on the blocks like that. Heavens, if that happens at Salford, I'll get nailed, won't I? My God, they will be catching me.
Well, you've got another chance, because now into the United Kingdom all final you go.
That's right. My wife's going to kill me. More training. More training.
Anyway, Keith, very well done. You won the Champions Challenge, and we look forward to seeing you in the UK final.
I'll be glad to be there. Smashing.
Glad
Thank you very much.
over.
I'm glad it's all over.
Keith Fielding, superb.
Thanks, David.
Well, that's the new 1981 Superstar Trophy, and the first 2 men who've qualified to compete for it are Keith Fielding, winner of this special challenge, and Lynn Davis, past master, world competitor, and now runner-up here. Brian Jacks, for the first time ever in Great Britain or Europe, is beaten into third place. And it was this second day when Salford's Rugby League three-quarter won the bike race and was second in all of the other 4 events. That's won him the Ferguson Challenge of the Champions Trophy. That to be presented to him by Mr. St. John Jackson, marketing manager of Ferguson Television Audio and Video, with a cheque for £1,500. Altogether, over the 2 days, 4 existing superstar records were broken. The last one going to Lynn Davis in the steeplechase. And it took that level of performance to finally stop the most famous superstar ever, Brian Jacks. So from the Champagne here, we'll move on to Wales. And with us will be men from the Moscow Olympic Games to see who can become the superstar there and join the champion of champions here, Keith Fielding.